Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hi, everyone. Okay, so my name is Beata Frede, and this evening we're going to be talking about something that is extremely important to the digital landscape of 2026 and the future. So, if you know anyone who is a parent, doesn't matter if they're on the way to becoming a parent, like they're pregnant, they're an expecting dad, 0 to 18, 0 to 18, every parent who has children between 0 to 18, they're welcome. Grandparents who want to be in the know are welcome. All parents are welcome. Thank you so much, Thundering Hearts. Thank you so much. Okay, so please share this link, let people know. But I'll be starting um, in a few seconds. So let's take time to share these links so I don't have to keep going back to recap. Let us know where you're watching us from. Like, drop a state in the comments. And for those who are watching the replay, I would also love it if you shared uh, a location, something vaguish, not completely pointing. Uh, Today, we're going to be talking about sharenting, and it's such an important topic. But whenever it comes up, people are going to ask, what is sharenting? What is sharenting? So I'm going to jump in as soon as possible. Just looking for the best view for now. Okay, so I'm starting. What is sharenting? And sharenting is basically parents sharing. It's that simple. Share, parenting, parents sharing. So you remember how a couple of years ago, or maybe almost a decade ago, we started to use the word momager like very widely, and that meant moms who are managers of their children, who are celebrities. So this is sharing and parenting combined. It's called Sharenting. If you're watching, if you're joining, thank you so much. Please share this link. All parents are invited. If you have a child in the womb, you're invited. In fact, I think the younger your child, the better for you to be on this. And I hope to be done in by an hour. I want us to be off, but I want us to be leaving with the information that we need. So, sharenting is the practice of parents or caregivers sharing sensitive information, pictures, videos, or even stories of their children on social media. And normally it's parents sharing, but I had to add the others. It's even aunties sharing, it's uncles sharing, it's grandparents sharing. And to be honest, the grandparents one is very serious. We don't take it serious, but grandparents share, and they have, most of them have even less understanding of the digital landscape right now. So even grandparents should be on this call, this workshop. All right, so that's sharenting. It's the practice of parents, caregivers, aunties, uncles, guardians sharing sensitive information, photos, and videos. I added stories to this because even stories are very important, that we pay attention to the kind of stories that we're sharing about our children online. It's very important that we pay attention to the kind of stories we are telling strangers about our children online. All right, so let me hurry up. If you're watching us, please let me see in the comments where you're watching us from. Thank you so much for joining. Let us know what state you're watching us from, what country you're watching us from. All right. So I'll move on to the next slide. Who am I? Like, why am I even here? My name is Beata, and I'm a certified coach. I'm committed to bridging the gap and equipping young individuals and families with the insight and the skills that help them achieve healthy success. How about you? So I would love to know what makes you, unique, what makes you special. Just share something in the chat. All right. So why is it so important that I have parents on? when I'm a teen and young adult coach. It's because our young adults and our teens will always need their parents, always need their parents. They will just need us in different capacities as they grow. My mom is still here, she's still alive, and I need her, but not the same way that I needed her when I was 14 because things change. I'm growing, she's also growing. So, this particular workshop is key for the parents to join us. Please let them know that we're on. So, that's who I am, especially in this context. All right. So tonight, when you leave this call, as long as you can stay on the whole time, and I really hope that you do, when you leave this call, you will leave in with the understanding of these things: identity theft and how easy it is for it to happen to a child because of the way their parents share information about them online. You'll be leaving with a kind of understanding of what digital kidnapping is, especially when it comes to images and videos. My intention is not to traumatize anyone or to cause us to be extremely worried, which is why I'm trying to do my best to keep it concise and short. But still, parents must know that this is an issue. However, if we get ahead of the issue and we know how to deal with it, then we're fine. But if we bury our heads in the sand, we're going to have a problem. And our children may also get to bear the brunt of that problem. That's why this is so important. All right. So you're going to understand how emotional trauma can happen just because of the way parents share pictures, videos, or even stories of their children online. Judgment and shaming. How does this factor into sharenting? We'll find out. And then the legal liability of shaming, of sharenting. We'll find that out tonight. Okay, so like I explained before, some of you started to join us. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Sharenting is the practice of parents, guardians, or caregivers sharing sensitive information, pictures or videos of their children on social media or the internet in general. So for the next few minutes, I would love you to indulge me and respond in the chat. I need our parents to share their thoughts. So we're going to practice an exercise called turn and talk. Turn and talk. But in this situation, because we're online, we're going to call it think and type. So I'm going to ask you a question and you will let me know what your response is. Okay. So picture this. If your child grew up and shared your most vulnerable, your messiest, your most embarrassing medical issue online with 10,000 followers, how would you feel about what your child did? How would you feel about what your child did? If you can't type too much, just put an emoji. Your child shared your most embarrassing medical moment in, on their social media or with 10,000 people. How would you feel about what they did? And and how would you okay, so it's one thing to feel a particular kind of way. Do you think it would affect your relationship with that child? On my end, on my end, um, thank you so much for 100 ads. On my end, I would say I would definitely feel just ashamed, definitely. So Pondering Heart said embarrassed. I would feel the same. Would it affect our relationship? Well, I would always love them. Yes, definitely embarrassed, definitely annoyed, definitely all of those things. And, for some people, it might be like, oh, but, they're your child. Yes, they are. However, does it change the fact that you'll be embarrassed? I don't think so. I think you'll still be embarrassed. I think you'll be upset. I think you will be all of those things. And I definitely would be angry as well. Would it change our relationship? Probably not, because I would still love them regardless. But it means that I may start to hide my medical information from them. I may not be as upfront with them about stuff. If I'm going to see the doctor and they say, "Where are you going, mom?" I might be like, "Oh, I'm going to the store." you know? So it will change. What I'm trying to say is it will definitely change our relationship, right? We agreed on that. So I'll move on to my next question. But the answer to that is, for me, it will change my relationship. From what I'm seeing in the comments, it will change other people's relationships too. So not permanently. Yes, definitely you'll be angry, but not forever. Of course, you forgive them, but it will change the way that you trust them with your information. All right. So we answered that question about our child. This is my next question. When you are posting, are you posting? And I'm asking because we're parents on here right now. Are you posting, when you post your child, are you posting because it is a memory you want to save? Or are you posting because you're seeking external validation? You want people to say it's a beautiful picture. You want people to say your child looks cute. You want people to say, your child is doing well. Maybe imagine someone posting their child at their recital, their piano recital, and that child is really good. Like they're the next Mozart's, whatever, whatever. And then you're posting that. My question is this: if that app did not have a like button, if nobody could tell you, wow, this is a wonderful, wonderful video or picture, would you still post it? Yes or no? Drop it in the chat. If you were posting your child and there was no like button, there was no way that somebody else could tell you, this is a nice picture. There was no way anybody could compliment you about the picture or the video that you posted. Would you still post it? I'm waiting for our answers in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us, those who are just coming in. Yes, she said she would no longer be vulnerable with the child. Awesome, awesome. So we're on the next question now. If you were sharing a picture or a video of your child and there was no like button, there is no way for people to clap, they can't put a heart, nothing. They can't even tell you that, oh, her dress is so lovely. Oh, she played the piano so well. Would you still share that picture? Okay, yes. Liz says, memory. I don't need anyone else's validation. I also want the child to know that I'm proud of their accomplishments. Yeah, so tonight I'm going to talk about moms like this, because not everybody who's sharing their children is sharing because they want to show off, or they want to show other people, or they need external validation. Some people are literally using the internet to store information. But we're going to talk about how we need to be careful even doing that, because of where the world is going and where the world is right now. All right. So I'll move on to my third and I think my final question. No, it won't be my final, but we'll see. In 20 years, when my child applies for a high level job, maybe with the FBI, and jobs like that, they need a very high security clearance. Like if you're getting into some kind of jobs, they will ask you all kinds of questions. They'll talk to your family members. If you're an immigrant, they will like try to confirm where you come from. Like it's a whole thing. They'll do like a whole background check. If your child had to apply for a job like that, the posts that you put out about them, will it be something that might hold them back from getting that job? Let me see your answers in the comments, please. If your child, considering what you have posted already about your children online, whether it's on Facebook, on Snapchat, on WhatsApp, I'm going to add WhatsApp because sometimes we forget that WhatsApp is also owned by the owners of Facebook and Instagram. So I'm not saying that's anything bad, but if we are concerned about the way we post, on Instagram and we're concerned about the way we post on Facebook, why are we not concerned about the way that we post on WhatsApp? They're all owned by the same group of people, right? Okay. So Pondering Heart said, food for thought, social engineering. We didn't have to post back in the day. Exactly. So we as parents, look, shout out to us because we're dealing with something that our parents didn't have to go through in their time, right? All right. So if your child was trying to get into the FBI or trying to be an advisor to the president, and they would need to check all their history would be laid bare, all the posts about them, everything would be laid bare. Would your post about them today risk them getting that job in the future? Think about that. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to move. Now that I've asked those questions, I take it that we are thinking it's kind of getting us to where we're going. I'll do a reintroduction because I know there may be some people online who don't know. That is an awesome question. I'll continue my, what's it called? My introduction, because some people may not know who I am. My name is Biodun Afride, and I'm a teen and young adult coach. I help young people get and find their way to healthy success. And part of what helps young people to find healthy success is having a support system that really stands up for them. And when they're going through the tough times in life, that support system is there for them. And a major support system for young people is their family. So it's not enough if we talk about mental health with our young people and with our teenagers and our young adults. It's not enough if the family does not have a mental health awareness. So today we're talking about sharenting, parents sharing, and how does that affect the safety of our family, the safety of our children. So this question is awesome. Shouldn't WhatsApp be more personal? Yes, it actually used to be more personal. It actually used to be more personal. It was more trusted and everything. But if I'm being honest, the moment ownership changed, it should have been a reminder for people to understand that it was not going to give you the same vibe that you were getting before. That's number one. Number two, WhatsApp has made some efforts to keep things private because there are some features in WhatsApp that don't even allow people to screenshot like a profile picture, which is awesome. That's great. However, with the way people are able to hack into WhatsApp these days, and what we are seeing with WhatsApp, and please let me know if you've ever experienced a hack on WhatsApp. Can you share something in the comments? If you know someone that has been hacked on WhatsApp, or you've ever been hacked on WhatsApp, please share something in the comments. The WhatsApp hack is so serious these days, and I've experienced it. Funny enough, I was in a conference presenting a few years ago when my WhatsApp got hacked. So I was on the screen talking, and I was receiving messages saying that my WhatsApp had been hacked. I couldn't really stop what I was saying to pay attention to the hack. So by the time I got off the call, whoever had hacked had sent out messages to so many people on my phone. Thank goodness for my husband who started to do some damage control, letting them know, no, this can be my wife. She probably got hacked. My wife would never reach out to you on WhatsApp to beg for money. Yes. Thank you so much, sis. Pondering Heart said, I know someone who got hacked. Chances are you know someone who got hacked, or even maybe you've been hacked before. So WhatsApp is also a place where we have to be careful. So tonight, before we get off, I'm going to tell you about a few places that are safer to share things like this, pictures about your kid, pictures of your kids, and all of that stuff. I will share a few places that you may want to look into and research. All right. So we just completed Think and Type. I'm going to move on. And if you have any questions, please let us know. Silver Shines, I know someone and it is destructive. It is so destructive because sometimes these hackers will reach out and they will And because they've quickly gone through, I don't know how they do it, but they've quickly gone through your groups. They like are reading whatever you guys are discussing, and then when they hack, when they've hacked the person, they reach out to people in their groups and they're like, "Hi, oh yes, it's me again. I need money for rent." And you're thinking, "Oh wow, this my brother or my sister or my friend is in need," and you send the money, and then you find out it wasn't them, but they've already collected the money. So a lot of things, are happening right now. I know someone and it is destructive. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right. So when I talk about the digital landscape of 2026, these are a few things I want to draw attention to. We have to be completely honest. Everyone, this is 2026. This is not 2016. We are way past cute photos. Like the time when we just posted a photo because it was cute and that child was in this pretty dress or this child was on the beach, and that time has changed. Like things have changed. There is the monetization of childhood. What does this mean? It means childhood pays. It means people can post pictures of their children and make money from that. It means people can post pictures of their children and have brands reach out to them and say, "Oh, your child is really cute. Can you make us 3 reels, 2 posts, 4 carousels, and we'll give you free clothes." And because we're giving you this gift, we're also going to take all this content that you've made and we'll post it on our site and we'll do this and that and that and that. And so people are making money off of their children. They're making money off of baby bumps. Sometimes some of us who don't really post, we're not content creators, when we see the way people post their children, people post videos, and we're like, wow, this person is posting a lot. Many of those people are posting because it's an income generator for them. So no judgment to them, but they're trying to pay their bills. All right, the short arm of the law. You know how we say the long arm of the law? When it comes to the digital landscape, when it comes to AI, when it comes to deep fakes, when it comes to how evil people can make the internet and our images and our videos of our children, of our beloved children, when it comes to how people can turn that into something horrible, the law cannot yet handle it. And I'm being completely honest. The law is still trying to figure its way out, figure its way around these issues with deep fakes, with identity theft. There's so many evil people behind the scenes trying to take advantage of our children's pictures, videos, stories, whatever. And you know, it's going to take some time for us to really get around it. Parents are facing the biggest test. If you are a parent who once in a while you're like, wow, can I do this successfully? If you've ever had that thought in your mind, like, can I do this successfully? Can I parent in this age successfully? Do I have all it takes? If you've ever thought about that before, please put an emoji in the comments. Let's be honest. I will be the first person to put it. I'll be the first person to put an emoji because I have thought about it before. I will be the first. Yes, that's me. That is me. I have thought about it before. And I thought like that. My mind went there because of things like this. When I started to see what people are capable of, how horrible people can be, a part of me was afraid. So I'll move quickly. Reality is scary, but we've got this. And these are the things I want us to take away when we're leaving tonight. The truth is that scary things are happening. But as parents, when we are armed with the right information, once we can figure out how to communicate this information to our children, our grandchildren, our nieces and nephews, then it's a big deal and it will help us. So now I'm going to switch over my view for you. So you see me in a smaller way. Banners. All right. So types of sharenters. So you see that one of our parents said, "Oh, he or she shares for like more like storing to store their pictures, and not for validation." Good. We have different types of sharenters, but they're mainly for sharenters. And like I explained at the beginning, a sharenter is a parent who shares images, videos, and stories of their children online. We have four different types of sharenters. For the purpose of this workshop, let's keep it to four. Number one, the connector. I put a link to signify that. So they are parents who share pictures, videos, stories to connect their family. So they have sisters, they have brothers, they have cousins, they have a large family, they have grandparents in other countries and other states. So they're trying to make sure that everybody can look at their Facebook, look at their Instagram, and see their little niece, see everybody. Like they want to stay connected and they're using the internet to do that. Those are the connectors. Then we have the curators. So I put this bust because this is the kind of bust that we see at a museum, right? So people like this, they just love to, curate pretty things. They like to keep pretty things on their social media, have a beautiful grid. Their son is there wearing their traditional clothes. They have a daughter there wearing a tutu. They have a cousin there who's doing all their holiday, pictures. They try to make it look very aesthetically pleasing and they keep it on social media. That's the curator. If you're the parent who has already found yourself, just share who you are in the comments. Are you a connector who's trying to use the pictures of your children, the videos to connect your family all around the world to keep up with your children and know what they have going on? Or are you the curator that you just do it because you like to have a pretty grid, you like to store and share pictures, videos, and everything to make it look nice? We have the community member. And who is the community member? The community member is that person who shares pictures, videos, or stories. This person is majorly stories. They share stories about their children online, but they're not just sharing it. It's more like they find the story funny, so they share it. Their child is going through something where maybe they have a rash on their arm. They're sharing it. Guys, does anybody know what I should do about this rash my child has? They share it and they wait for people to respond. And then they say, "Oh, thank you. I'll try it." That's the community member, right? Or they're like, "Oh, yesterday I spoke with my daughter. She yelled back at me. I'm not even sure what to do. What should I do?" And then you have 100 people in the comments saying, "What? If it was me, I would never take that." You have some people saying, "Well, just be patient with her." You have some people saying, "Go to bed. Tomorrow you'll feel better." The person putting out all that information about their child, those videos, those stories, those pictures, that's who we would call the community member kind of sharenter. And then finally, we have the CEO. That's this person. This person is making money off of sharing their family business online. That's it. They're not doing it to connect. They're not doing it to curate. They're not doing it to gather their community and learn from their community. Maybe at the beginning, that was why they started to do it. But right now, that's not why. So I've said a lot, but to everyone who is on, which one are you? Please share in the comments. I want to see. Please, let's do something. Let's share in the comments. Let's see. Which one are you out of this four? Are you the connector? Are you the curator? Are you the community member? Are you the CEO? Are you a bit of both? Which one are you? Let's say that in the comments. Okay. Okay. Yeah, someone said none. I'm none of them. Great. Okay. Who else? Let's see. Please be honest. Be honest. So yeah, I know that you're none of them. I know that you're none of them. Who else? Who else? And this is why I said if you know someone who hasn't even put their baby is not here yet, like the baby is still in the womb. I would love for them to be on this call because they're getting a head start. Some of us have already shared pictures, videos, stories online. We don't even know where they are. So much has happened. So much has happened. So she's like, currently I'm none. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next. So, what are the risks involved when parents share everything? Yeah, she said in the past, maybe a curator. Yeah. Okay, so what are the risks that are involved when we share pictures, videos, or stories of our children online? We can we can end up attracting identity thieves. We can give them the information that they need to steal our children's identity. And for those who are thinking, but how? Like, it's not that serious. I just shared a picture. One thing you need to understand is the way you are at work, spending 8 hours, 12 hours at work, some people's jobs is to literally sit in front of a computer and find out details of a person's life and put them together and take over their identity. And this in 2026 is very normal. Identity theft is a real problem. Look it up. Another risk involved digital kidnapping. What does this mean? People taking other people's images and using those images, pretending to be them and doing some kind of, terrible thing with it. Has anyone watched the show Catfish? I think it used to be called Catfish. I don't know if it's still streaming, but it was basically someone would think somebody loved them. They were seeing a picture online. The person has said, "Oh, I love you." They're probably sending money to that person. They're telling everybody, "Oh, I have a significant other. This is what they look like." Finally, they find out that that person is a complete liar. That is not their picture. None of that. They've just taken that picture. Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Ma. She said, yes. That show, I don't know if they still show it, but I remember the few times I ever saw it. When you see the face of the person who has been deceived, it's almost like their life is ending because they've sent money, they've sat down for hours at their computer, they've said, I love you to the person has said, I love you, but they really believe that, you know? Meanwhile, how was this person deceived? Many times they were deceived with another person's picture. And you'll be thinking, but won't they do video? Many times these people will say, oh, something is wrong with my camera today. Oh, I'm trying. Something is wrong with my network. But do you know one thing that they do to cover the video portion? That person whose photo they've stolen, they go and start looking for videos of someone that looks a bit similar to them or even the same person. So like if my picture got stolen, they would keep waiting for me to post a video. They would take the video. They would send it to that person. Oh, this was me today. I went to the mall. My cousin took this picture. And that's the kind of things that they're doing. All right. So what is the risk involved? Judgment and no, before we get to judgment and shaming, emotional trauma. We have children who their parents started sharing them for when they were in the womb, like when the mother was still carrying them in the stomach. And they're sharing their whole life story. And when the child got to middle school, they have kids in their class saying, oh, I remember when your mom posted so and so and so. I remember when you and your dad posted this and this and this. And it started to cause them emotional trauma. Because if your child has a video of them when they were 5 years old, and you were yelling at them about peeing on the bed, and now they're 12 years old, do you understand what kind of trauma you may have caused for that child? Okay, let's move on. Judgment and shaming. So, judgment and shaming, this is a big deal, especially for parents. While the child may be experiencing emotional trauma and getting bullied in school, parents are also getting judged. Oh, it was your child that did so and so. Oh, you're the child that didn't potty train you're the mom who didn't potty train your kid early enough. Oh, I saw the video when your kid spat on you, or your kid can't do laundry. There's just all of this judgment and shaming. And you may say, oh, but why would people judge and shame you? It's just life. They can judge and shame you because you put out the information. So we need to be careful. And then finally, legal liability. So, legal liability, what does this even mean? We are having children who have grown up and are now turning around and suing their parents for sharing their videos and pictures that compromise them. So pictures of them maybe half naked or in the bathroom or doing something that should have been a private thing. Now you're having children suing their parents for sharing those videos 5 years ago, something like that. That is increasing. All right, so let's move on. And please, if you have any, and if you've ever experienced any of the things I'm saying, please share it in the chat. Let people know that this is really happening. So, what are the rewards? Because when I put out the topic for today, I said it's going to be sharenting, risk, realities, and rewards. Am I saying that sharing of our children's pictures and all of that? Am I saying that it's bad, completely bad? No, because we do gain something. When I put out a picture of my child and my siblings love it and my friends love it and the people who are online say, wow, you're doing such a good job, mom. I'm proud of it. It makes me happy. That's connection. So I do get rewarded. Connection is my reward, right? And then when I curate pictures, I curate videos, I archive, I do all of that. In 10 years, when I go back to those videos and those pictures, when I look at them, my heart is like, wow, I'm so proud. I'm so happy. You know, hopefully by then, great things have happened, even greater things. And so I'm happy that I kept those videos and those pictures. So that's a reward. Not everybody has, like, imagine a person who had to run away from a war torn country with only the clothes on their back. Do you understand that the way you have childhood pictures, you have videos of, they don't have any of that. They don't have any of that at all, right? So being able to archive pictures and videos is a good thing. It's a reward. Community help and support. If I come out now and I say, oh, I have a child who is displaying so and so behavior, and somebody says, wow, my cousin's child also displayed that behavior, and then we took her to a chiropractor, and then they found out so and so and so, maybe try a chiropractor. That could be what would save that child's life. That's number one. Number two, even having people respond and say, oh, yeah, that happened to me too. You should try so and so. That's a good thing. So that's a reward. A few days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, I shared a post on Threads, and it was just a very simple, very curious post. I was like, Canada, is it true you have maternity leave for 12 months to 18 months? I literally just posted it thinking it was just going to be one of those posts. I wake up, my phone is going crazy. I'm like, what is happening? That post at that time had like maybe 6,000 likes and comments, like 3,000 comments, and people are responding, like all kinds of comments. And I'm thinking, what is going on? Right? That's community help and support. And people were saying, yeah, if you do this, you pay this kind of money. I found out so many things I had no idea about when it comes to Canada and maternity leave. We had French people jump on the post and start talking about, yes, in France, same thing. But we have it for 3 years. I learned so much. So community can be a support system and can help us, make better decisions. And then finally, we get to grow because of social media. Yeah. We also can get financial security. So for people who are making money off of social media, making money off of TikTok, some of them will send their children to college with that money. Some of them will buy houses with that money. So there are rewards from sharenting, but there are also risks, which I've shared. There's also realities. All right, so I'll move on quickly. Okay, so what are the realities of sharenting? The first group of children that we all got to know whose parents were always like, sharing them and everything, many of them are teenagers now. They are speaking up. They are not happy. Does anyone know Ryan's World? The kid who used to unbox toys. If you know, please drop something in the comments. Ryan's World. I'm trying to remember his last name. I think his last name may be Kaji or Raji or something. Let me see if I can find it. I think we used to call him Ryan's World or Ryan's Toys. Anyway, recently he spoke up. He said he didn't want to be involved in all of that sharing anymore. He felt like his parents were using him. He felt like they were taking advantage of him. He didn't think that he had work-life balance. And when he first started to say that, it was like, wow, what do you mean? Your parents love you. But then when you consider it again, Ryan started opening toys at 3 years old. So basically, his parents started to make money off of him opening toys when he was 3. And he was working like that for years. So now he has become a symbol of a group of children influencers who are saying that they have a right to be forgotten. They don't want everybody to know them. They didn't want to be popular, but their parents made them popular. That's another story. That's another story because some parents will say, "Oh wow, yes, but your exactly. My kids used to watch him, Ryan's World. My kids didn't even used to watch him, but I used to watch him sometimes because I didn't know what to buy for my kids for Christmas. So I'd be like, okay, what can I buy from these gifts? And many other parents experience the same thing. Many other parents experience the same thing. So, but he and many other children who were raised to be influencers without their own permission, and now saying they no longer want to live that life. All right. So we talked about that. And now let's move on to another reality about sharenting. And this reality has to do with this law called Coogan's Law. So basically, Coogan's Law is about how children get paid, like how children can protect their privacy and their earnings. Are parents putting money aside for a child who is making them money on social media? So when a dad is always sharing a video of his daughter, and maybe he makes videos every day, and beside him he has a daughter, and people are like, "Wow, your daughter is so cute. Oh, I love what she's wearing," and he's making money off of that. Is he setting aside money for her? Because they're working together. And that didn't used to be a consideration. The law didn't have anything like that covered children. But now it is. It's called Kogan's Law. All right. Faceless posting or privacy emojis. We've come to a time now where to protect a child's identity, it is a better option to do your best to shield their faces. You can maybe post their sides, you can post maybe their back, maybe their hand, maybe their legs, but you want to think twice before posting their actual faces or even their whole bodies, their whole like profile. A lot of people they're talking about using privacy emojis, but I've also heard that there are apps where you can take an emoji off a child's face. I don't know if that's true. I've heard some people talk about, no, it doesn't work like that. If you put the picture into AI without the privacy emoji, and then and then you add the emoji after, then they can remove it. Anyway, there's been some argument, but the reality is that now you want to consider faceless posting over, you know, just full on posting. Another reality, if you wouldn't want someone to post you like that, don't post them like that. If you wouldn't want someone to post you like that, don't post them like that. And for this, another reality is when you share a picture with someone, you need to let them know that is just for them. Don't think that just because you know it in your heart, they will know it. You will be very disappointed. There will be people who will tell you, "Oh, it's just a picture. I also share my children. You shared it. You sent it to me, and so I sent it to other people." You're going to have to let them know, "No, I don't play those games. Please, if I send you a picture, it's just for us." If you don't think that they will stick to it, then you don't want to send them that picture. If somebody sends you the first picture of their baby, you should know that you shouldn't share it. It's not yours to share, but not everybody knows that. So you need to let them know. And then the last reality that I want to share today, audit your audience. Some people say, "Oh, I don't know who loves me. I don't know who hates me. I could share this picture," and then we don't know what they're going to do. Yes, there's some sharing that you may not be able to control, which is why I'm advocating for faceless posting or privacy emojis. But if you have people in your inner circle, let's say WhatsApp, and I love that, that parent had asked about WhatsApp. The good, and I said WhatsApp has its good sides and its other sides. WhatsApp allows you to be able to adjust your updates. You can block people on your updates. So you can say, "Let everyone see my updates except for this 60 people," and then block them. So you have the chance, you have the opportunity to audit who sees your your updates. Unfortunately, on apps like IG and Facebook and TikTok, not so much. Not so much. Because even if you block someone, they could open another account and you wouldn't know it was them, and then they do what they have to do, which is why, again, we have to be careful. And then I'll just go to stories quickly. You have to be careful what stories you're sharing about your children. We know that when children become teenagers, sometimes they act, impatient. They say things that they're not supposed to say. They might take some decisions that they're not supposed to take. They're still learning about themselves. They're still developing. They're making mistakes like we all did when we were teenagers too. So it's not okay if we go and make videos about what they did, especially when those videos are still online and it's not a video that puts them in a flattering light. People might stigmatize them because of those videos. Your family members may stigmatize them because of those videos, and that is the truth. So please audit your audience and audit the stories that you tell on social media. It's okay not to even use your child's real names. Like, it's okay to hide your child's government name as much as possible. Like, I do that. I don't refer to my children in their full names online. I've never done it. It's not something I do. Right? So it's something that you can also start to think about it. Like, how do I want to help protect my children online? And I'm getting to the point where we are talking about protecting our children, but how do we help our children understand that they need to protect themselves? Because that is a very important part of this topic. Yes, please, if you have any comments, definitely share it in the comment section or ask a question. Yes, so these are the realities. This is what is really happening, and that's what I just spoke on. What do smart parents do? What do smart sharents do? Parents who are like, "I want to share. I'm a connector. I'm a curator. I'm any of the other kind of sharents. What do I do? I'm a CEO. I'm making money off of this. I can't lose my income, or I'm a community person. I need my community to back me up." What do you need to know? Number one, prepare for pushback. Prepare for pushback. Don't post something, get some kind of comment, and then get depressed. If you know that you're that kind of person, then you don't want to even share anything about your children online, right? And when it also comes to your children, your teenagers, your young ones, your whatever, you need to start to talk to them about how they themselves share. So imagine if I had like an 8-year-old. I'm doing my best to share responsibly, share their stories, their videos, their images responsibly. I need to also let them know to do the same thing, because it's no use us trying to protect our children if we're not teaching them how to protect themselves. I won't even get into Roblox. I won't get into all of those tonight, but we need to start having conversation with them about their digital privacy. It is very important. Sometimes when these kids say they want to play Roblox, we're like, no, no Roblox. Why? We're like, because I said so. It's not going to be enough. We are going to have to let them know why. Oh, it's not a safe space. Oh, when if you have to play Roblox, the chat needs to be off. Like, this discussions need to be had. Okay, and then I've talked about most of this. How do we even have this conversation? Because if there's anyone here who is a parent, grandparent, uncle, or auntie, we know you can talk to kids until they're blue in the face. They don't have to listen. They could just ignore you. They don't have to listen. So how do we get them to listen? At least take it in one, bit by bit. This is what I will always advocate for. On the last community call that we had for PIPO, I shared this. And in that call, I was talking about grooming and how to protect our children from predators. So if you've never watched that video, please check it out on this channel and please subscribe. Yes, so this is the framework that I will always, always, always advocate for. It's a care framework. Number one, connect first. A child that doesn't have a connection with you is not going to listen to you. No. That child needs to have a connection with you. They need to be able to come to you at 3 a.m. in the night and say, Mom, Dad, this is actually what happened in school. I wanted to tell you, but I was a bit scared. And you'd be like, wow, that really happened. Let's talk about it. You need to be able to have that. Yes. Pondering Heart said they keep asking why, even after you told them why. Yes. And you continue to tell them. And when you know you're about to lose it, you and say, we'll have this conversation another day. But for now, no. That's that I can't teach people what to do, but that's what I do. If I know I'm getting to the end of my rope, I'm like, we're not going back and forth on this right now. I've tried to explain to you. For now, for today, no. So connection is key. Ask first. Ask them first. You need to have a conversation first. You can't just tell them, no. You have to ask them questions. Why are you posting? Why did you share this picture? Why did you do this and that? You need to ask them. They will tell you why they do the things that they do. You have to reframe their understanding of things. Oh, yes, you want to share on Snapchat, but do you understand that you have these features open and so you're not safe on Snapchat? I had to go search up a YouTube of kids, when people like put, when they kind of set up their own kids and pretend that they want to kidnap their kids. I don't know if anyone has seen those YouTube videos. I had to go search it up because I was like, this is really happening to people. That was me trying to figure out how to reframe the issue about physical stranger danger in 2026. And then equip. How do we equip our kids? We give them the right language. We give them information about what's going on. Some of them don't know the danger that they're in, and that's why they're arguing. Some of them don't know that it exists. To them, the world is clean, the world is kind, the world is nice. You know better that it's not like that. And so you're going to have to equip them with the information, some information, something that still lets them sleep at night. Of course, I'm a Christian. You're letting them know that God protects. God protects us, but we must do our own part by doing our best to make the right decisions. And so that's how we equip them. We give them the right language, we give them the right information, and we set boundaries. And so I think going to be the last part of this, which I'm going into. How do we set boundaries with our children when it comes to the internet? So there's a few of us on right now. Can you share with me in the comments, what is one thing that you do to set boundaries with your child when it comes to the internet, when it comes to sharing maybe videos or pictures. I'm waiting. Let's share something. What do you do? Like, what's one thing that you do to set a boundary? So, for some people, and I'm going to share a few things that people do when it comes to, all of this, they insist, right? They insist that the child must not share a video or photo of themselves in a vulnerable state. So that you can be crying, you can be sharing a video or going live with no clothes on or with your body exposed. You can't do that. Or you can't go live when nobody's home, or you can't, something like Roblox, having the chat off. Those are boundaries. I don't allow them to engage with anyone online. So that's an example. Thank you so much for sharing that. I don't allow them to engage with anyone online. Recently, it was found out that a popular email, like our emails, 13-year-olds were being emailed and being told that now that they're 13 years old, they can change the feature of their email. I'm not going to share details about what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to say is even companies are targeting your younger teenage children. So you need to equip them with the right information. No chatting online with people they don't know. And for many of these kids, by the time the person reaches out to them 6, 7 times, they start to feel like they know that person. So when you say no chatting online with people that they don't know, they're just looking at you because we're like, no, I know this guy. We play games every day. They may be thinking this is a 14-year-old guy, we play games, and that may be a 60-year-old pretending to be a 14-year-old. How? Because they kidnapped somebody else's image and now they can pretend to be that person. So these are the issues. Okay. I spoke to my son yesterday about the guy that was missing last week who went to look for a guy he met on Roblox. No sharing of personal information online with strangers. You know the irony of this, and thank you so much, Ma, for sharing that. My colleague at work, her younger brother is the boy's friend. He's missing. And so she told me about 2, 3 weeks ago, oh, we're looking for his friend. He's missing. And I was like, wow, I pray that he's found. They've been looking for this child for weeks now. And it was because he went to meet a guy on Roblox. We don't know what happened. I pray he's found safe, but that is the reality of things. Yes, about companies reaching out. Yes, a company should not be reaching out to teenagers behind their parents' back because essentially that's what they're doing. They're saying, it's a fine line. They're like, yes, we'll reach out to them, and if the parents say anything, we'll say, wow, they're 13. We have the right to, but they don't because that was never the agreement. That was never the agreement. You can't tell a 13-year-old, oh, now that you're 13, this is how to remove the protections that your parents put. You can't do that. That's wrong. It's like if I told you that my child is not allowed to eat cabbage, and then I leave your house and I leave my child with you, and then I'm gone, and then you tell my child, now that your mom's not here, I'll give you cabbage. The child may be happy, but what you've done is wrong because my boundary is being crossed, right? So, and then we're rounding up. Thank you so much, everyone, for engaging. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to share a template with everyone who's on as much as I can within the next 48 hours. And I think it's going to help us. So finally, let's talk about how we as parents can lock in to family-only apps. So there are some apps. So imagine a Facebook, imagine an Instagram, but for families, just for families. That's the reason why they were created. The designers designed them to bypass AI and the drama algorithms and all of that. It's supposed to help families keep their videos, their pictures, and everything like that private. And a few of them are Family Album. There's one called Family Album. It is free. You don't have to pay anything, and you can store as many pictures as you want. It sorts everything in the app by the child's age. So you will see the child's pictures when they were 1, 2, 3, like that. It's called Family Album. Yes, she said. Pondering Heart said violation of boundaries. Yes, it's a violation of boundaries when a company tries to go behind the parent. And then we have another family app. It's called Tiny Beans. So I'm going to start to share them in the chat. Yeah, Family Album. We have Tiny Beans. We have one called Cluster. Cluster. Let's see. And my favorite is Cluster. My favorite is actually Cluster. And why? Why is my favorite Cluster? Cluster is actually perfect for people who are trying to create boundaries between families, like the sides. So you want to share certain pictures, videos with your maybe the mom wants to share certain videos and pictures with her side of the family, but not the father's side of the family, or wants to share certain pictures with the father's side of the family, but not her side of the family. Cluster makes that possible because when you join, you can form family clusters and keep your information even more private. Please check these 3 out. There's more, but these 3 are one of the 5 that they call the big 5 family apps. So check them out: Family Album, Tiny Beans, and Cluster. So I said I was going to share something with us, and what I'll be sharing with us is basically a template. And this is for parents whose children want to become influencers. Is there anyone like that? Your child has said, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a YouTube. I want to be a TikToker. I want to da 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 da. I want to start a fashion line and I want to show off my sense of fashion online. If you know you have a child who has said something like that to you, please indicate. Please indicate, because now we're getting more kids that are more excited about becoming content creators or digital creators. Let's call them digital creators. They're more excited about that than even going to college. It's getting that serious. So she said, yes, this is real. Like, this is really happening. And when they're little, you might be like, no, I don't want you to be taken advantage of. But as they get older, yes, as they get older, thank you so much, Ma, I see you. As they get older and you see that their hearts are in the right place, and you see that their gifts and just their character is showing that, this may be what they want to do. You have to figure out what's the safe way that I can let them try this. Someone said, I had one in my house. What do you mean had? What do you mean had? Do you mean they've changed their minds? So I'm going to share with us a template, an agreement template. So this template has an agreement, right? How you're going to support them and how they are going to have to support the family. So they cannot be online, sharing videos, sharing whatever, and they haven't done their chores. They cannot be gung-ho about posting pictures and posting da-da-da-da-da, and they haven't done their homework. They can't be, treating their siblings badly, and online they're saying, hi guys, you guys look so beautiful. And then at home, they're telling their siblings, you look so ugly. Like, they have to be practicing what they're preaching, basically, but in the house. So this agreement allows both of you to decide that that's what you want to do. That's what's going to happen. And because I have one in my house too, that's why this even became a whole thing. Because we understand that the internet can swallow you up it can become a whole other world that you forget that there's a real world, and you forget to, as the kids say, you forget to touch grass. Is there a plan we can follow? That I will start off with an agreement. And yes, there's going to be a workshop, but it's for teens and tweens who want to be influencers, and that will be in the second quarter. And these are for those who love Jesus. Like you love Jesus and you want your child to have the opportunity to create content and do all of these things, but with Jesus as their center. Like they can't take him out of what they are doing. And this is not to say they have to go online preaching, no, but they have to follow the principles and values of a believer, of a Christian. So that's going to happen later. But for now, it's going to be this agreement. So this agreement is going to involve you and involve the child. And I want us to be on for like five minutes, and then let's close so everyone can prepare for tomorrow, right? So why is this agreement important? It's important because number one, we need to start teaching our children how to read agreements and how to read between fine prints, right? So in this agreement I'm going to share with us, it basically has, how the a portion where the child has to agree to follow certain rules that help the family stay synced. You can't be in your room sharing videos and doing everything and not coming out and engaging with the family, or ignoring your homework, or being nasty at school and all of that stuff. You can't do that. If you as a parent have like rules with makeup and clothes, they have to follow those rules. You as the parent too, you have a portion in this agreement where you say, I'm going to support you in this way. I'm going to hold you accountable to certain things. I also am not going to share, private moments of your life to other people. I'm going to ask you for permission before I share your pictures. Like I have a child who you can't share anything like that of his. You can't share his videos. You can't share his pictures. You must ask him for permission. And he will say yes. And that was an agreement that we came to a long time ago, and I've kept to it. And because I don't even want to share their pictures like that anyways, I don't even about that. But if I wanted to, I must ask him, and he must say yes. So for those whose children are under the age where they can say yes, you need to be careful. You don't want a Ryan's World situation where they grow up and they say, I don't even want my stuff out there. So do you have any questions? Any thoughts? Like, what are our thoughts? What are our thoughts from tonight? Any takeaways? Any takeaways from tonight? Let's see. Facebook feelings. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I see that many of us have kids who want to, create content because they're consuming content. And it's not a bad thing if they want to start to create content. We just need to make sure that there are boundaries. Thank you so much. That a very informative session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So I thought I had my banner scrolling. Maybe I don't. I would say please go to my website, sign up for the mailing list so you can get information as soon as possible about all of these tools. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. And so, yes, please, if you are that person that you want to share pictures, share videos, share stories with family album, Tiny Bins, Cluster, check them out. They are very good family apps. Okay, so we're rounding up. Once again, my name is Beata Dafrede. I'm a teen and young adult coach. I am so passionate about helping young people find healthy success. And I keep saying this because there is success that literally, there's success that looks like success, but what it does is that it kills. And we're not trying to have our young ones have that. And that's why it's important that even though we want to guide them right, we don't want to destroy our relationship with them. We have people in their 20s going through tough, hard times. And when you say, why don't you go home? Why don't you tell your family? they're like, I don't think they're going to stand up for me. I don't think they're going to help me. I don't think they're interested. We need to let our children know that we care about them, we love them. We shouldn't be part of the problem. We should be their support system. And that's what I have for tonight. So please subscribe to this channel. There's going to be more coming up. By next week, there is going to be a video on this channel. It's called the Parents Communication Quiz. It is a very, very helpful quiz. Please don't miss it. I took that quiz for myself, and it made me change the way that I was even communicating. So please, just look out for these things and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless you. Good night. Thank you for engaging.